Welcome to what is happening in today with Crowning Thoughts. Santiago DC Maria Truth Speaker.
MAGA pathetic tantrum. Trump slams Bad Bunny and Lady Gaga, but no real probe, just hot air. Wake up. Folks, let's cut through the nonsense and get real about this so-called controversy surrounding Trump, Bad Bunny, and Lady Gaga after the 2026 Super Bowl halftime extravaganza. I'm laying it out straight, no fluff, no BS, because the truth doesn't need sugarcoating. And as someone who's firmly anti-MAGA, I'm not here to glorify that clown or his cult. I'm here to expose the absurdity with zero apologies. This isn't about hero-worshipping a failed leader. It's about calling out the fragile egos and manufactured outrage from the right-wing echo chamber. They can't handle a powerhouse like Bad Bunny owning the stage with unapologetic Latino pride, guest spots from icons like Lady Gaga, and a performance that celebrated diversity in a way that makes their Great America fantasies crumble. But guess what? Despite all the screeching, there's no actual investigation from Trump himself. It's all smoke, mirrors, and desperate political theater. First off, the short, unfiltered truth. No, there's zero confirmed evidence that Trump is personally launching or overseeing any official investigation into Bad Bunny or Lady Gaga. What we're dealing with is a storm of backlash from Republican crybabies, amplified by social media hysteria and clickbait headlines. People are twisting words online to make it sound like Trump's got the FBI knocking on doors, but that's pure exaggeration. The reality. It's just verbal diarrhea from Trump and his minions, trying to weaponize a killer halftime show because it didn't cater to their narrow, English-only, puritanical worldview. Bad Bunny delivered a historic, high-energy set in mostly Spanish, featuring cameos from Lady Gaga, Ricky Martin, Pedro Pascal, Cardi B, and Karol G, a vibrant showcase of Latin culture that had millions hyped. But for MAGA, anything that doesn't scream red, white, and blue. With a side of xenophobia is apparently an affront. Give me a break. Let's break down what Trump actually did, and trust me, it's as predictable as it is pathetic. On his knockoff Twitter ripoff, Truth Social, Trump fired off a rant calling Bad Bunny's performance absolutely terrible and one of the worst ever. He whined that it was an affront to the greatness of America, griping about the dancing being disgusting, especially for kids, and moaning that nobody understands a word this guy is saying. Translation: he couldn't handle the Spanish lyrics or the bold, joyful moves that celebrated Puerto Rican heritage and Latino excellence. This from a guy who's been anti-immigrant, anti-diversity his whole career. Remember his shithole countries comments. Trump didn't even show up to the Super Bowl, but he couldn't resist inserting himself into the spotlight like the attention addict he is. Weeks before, he was already slamming the NFL's choice of Bad Bunny and Green Day, calling them terrible and anti-them in interviews. It's classic Trump, stir up division, play the victim, and rally his base with dog-whistle racism. But an investigation? Nah, he didn't announce one. He just complained like a toddler denied his nap. Now, where does all this investigation chatter even come from? It's not from Trump directly, it's from his MAGA lapdogs in Congress, desperate to score points with the base. These Republican figures like Rep. Andy Ogles from Tennessee, Rep. Randy Fine from Florida, and Rep. Marco Ford from Missouri are the ones howling for probes. Ogles wrote a letter to the House Energy and Commerce Committee demanding a formal congressional inquiry into the NFL and NBC Universal, labeling the show pure smut with explicit and indecent content, sexually explicit lyrical themes, and suggestive choreography. He ranted about widespread twerking, grinding, pelvic thrusts, acting like a Victorian prude at a dance party. Fine went further, claiming on X that the performance was illegal, and urging the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, to investigate, saying if the lyrics were in English, the broadcast would have been yanked and fined massively. Ford echoed the call on TV, saying they're still investigating this over concerns for families and kids. These clowns are framing it as indecent for public airwaves, but let's be real, it's code for hating on anything that's culturally diverse, empowering, or not centered on white conservatism. Bad Bunny's been a vocal Trump critic, denouncing ICE and championing Latino rights, so this is payback disguised as moral outrage. Lady Gaga got dragged in simply for guesting her pro-LGBTQ+ stance, and past hits like Born This Way make her a perpetual MAGA target. But again, these are just calls for investigation, not actual launched probes. No subpoenas, no hearings confirmed, just grandstanding. Here's the crucial clarification you need to shut down the misinformation. As of right now, February 12, 2026, there's no verified federal investigation initiated by Trump into Bad Bunny, Lady Gaga, or the halftime show. What does exist is Trump's public tantrum on social media, conservative lawmakers' performative demands for reviews by bodies like the FCC or congressional committees, and a flood of media stories hyping it up for clicks. Social media is ablaze with memes and posts claiming Trump wants to investigate celebrities, but that's sloppy shorthand. The accurate take: Trump trashed the show to feed his ego, some GOP politicians jumped on the bandwagon to virtue signal to their voters, and no official action from the White House has materialized. If anything changes, like if Trump actually uses his power to sic agencies on artists, I'll call it out louder than anyone. But for now, it's all bluster. Remember, this isn't new. MAGA has melted down over Super Bowl shows before, like when Lo and Shakira brought Latin fire in 2020, or Rihanna's pregnancy reveal in 2023. It's a pattern. Anything that amplifies voices from marginalized communities gets labeled woke or indecent to distract from real issues like healthcare, inequality, or Trump's endless scandals. Bottom line, unvarnished and fierce. The narrative that Trump is investigating Bad Bunny and Lady Gaga is overhyped garbage. Trump blasted the performance because it challenged his fragile vision of America, one that's exclusionary, monolingual, and scared of cultural evolution. Republican pawls are pushing for investigations to keep the culture wars raging, but nothing concrete has happened. This is MAGA at its weakest, attacking artists for daring to be authentic while ignoring actual problems like economic disparity or climate crises. Bad Bunny's set was a triumph, historic as the first all-Spanish halftime headliner, packed with energy, pride, and messages of unity. It wowed fans, broke records for viewership spikes among Latino audiences, and reminded us that America is stronger when it embraces all its people. Trump and his crew, they're just noise, relics of a divisive era we need to leave behind. Don't let their whining dim the shine, celebrate the art, reject the hate, and keep pushing for a truly inclusive nation. If you're fired up about this, good, that's the point. We need more voices calling out this hypocrisy without fear. Stay vigilant against the MAGA machine. They're not done trying to control culture, speech, or creativity. But artists like Bad Bunny and Lady Gaga, they're unstoppable, representing the real heartbeat of progress. Feel free to follow and subscribe. Hit the bell so that you never miss any of my posts. Feel free to comment amen. If you look at my audio videos and reels, there will be long and short prayers and many other videos. I write advice, politics, and prayers. You are more than welcome to see them too. Please share so that this message can get across. Thank you for your time. I love you all. I appreciate every one of you, and I thank you for your time. Stay blessed.
Thank you for listening to Santiago, DC.